been quite a road to get here, literally and figuratively. I thought I would just give you all a little bit of background as to how all of this came to pass, from the early days of what Ken originally inspired to what we have here today. It's interesting because, you know, sometimes it takes a number of winding roads to get down the main path, and I've heard this expression that the middle of the road is only really good for horse dung. And I think it applies. It always makes me smile because it kind of fits, but in this case, I think more so than in any other. There have been a lot of ideas about how extreme all of this has been and how obsessive we have organized all of these ideas and created these products. It seems a little bit drawn out in comparison to everything else out there, and we're always getting a kind of backlash because of how extreme the whole thing is. And yet, from this perspective, it's the only way. We came to these ideas, and the end products here were a means to an end. And it was interesting because the other day, or actually yesterday, we were talking about Steve Jobs and how his influence on our lives has been so pervasive. And it was only really in the last few years that what he had been trying to do, his vision for all of this, actually came to fruition. It was this idea of integrating hardware and software. And a lot of people who heard about the original idea were kind of taken back. I remember reading stories about Microsoft saying, well, hey, good luck with that. You want to put it all together. It's not really going to work very well. And here we are, and with iPads and iPhones and all of it just working exactly the way it was originally intended, but it took a long time to get there. When Ken came up with all of these concepts, he had this vision to integrate environment, protocol, and equipment in a way that nobody had done before. And it was supposed to simplify the entire equation so that the end user could experience something that was unlike anything else in the fitness industry. And as we got into this, the original machines, the Super Slow Systems machines, and the exercise studios that people were opening up, we started noticing that you could now deliver a service that was completely different from anything else. And when I got my equipment, I remember thinking, this was back in 2003, I remember thinking, wow, here's an opportunity to really get this across to people, to really level the playing field and take ranked beginners, to take pro athletes, to take anyone who has any aspirations for fitness and exercise, rehabilitation, and give them the opportunity to experience this protocol in a way that within a very small number of sessions they can actually reach these limits. And it didn't take long to realize that in order to do that, these three components had to be integrated in this way. And it wasn't until we all got together and we started playing around with some of the basic elements of how these three things needed to be integrated that we realized that we had to get to this place.